how this goes on the replay. So this evening, for anybody who will be joining me, just going to do a little late night Q&A while I'm cutting some guillotine tool dies over here with the old slow and trusty bandsaw. Wait till some people will start flowing in here. See what happens. If you're here already, say hi in the chat. Let me know. This is unscheduled and an unprovoked live. Heyo. Oh. Hello everyone. Good to see you all in here. Oh. Jason Leto, hello. Glad you like the work. Bam, first, LOL. Oh. All right. Well, glad to see everyone. So thanks for joining me. This is just like an impromptu live, not a giveaway live stream or anything like that. Just got a late night in the shop trying to cut some guillotine tool dies, getting a whole bunch of those stocked up. After Thomas and I worked together all day today, working on Copper Basin. So basically Thomas did all the work on the Copper Basin today. Many hours of tedious grinding just for rough grinding. So Robert, yeah, those Anvil flyweights are pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. You know, I came up with that concept and I'm like, dude, this will be perfect. I'm like, that's what better for a blacksmith shop than Anvil flyweights, right? And before anybody freaks out, I know there's already been a whole bunch of people who are like, oh, hopefully those weren't good anvils. No, they weren't good anvils. They were the pro grade brand anvils that you could buy on Amazon or eBay. I think they sell mostly on I think I got them on Amazon, but they were 25-pound anvils that are all cast iron, so they're real easy to go, easy to drill, somewhat easy. In the video, like I said, I didn't have my speeds right on the drill press, so it made it a little bit more difficult to do. Kai Johnson, is it good or bad that no flames come out of my forge? I will recommend you to the gas forge video I did on adjusting and tuning your gas forge burner and what to look for. You can look that up under the Mr. Volcano playlist series. Yep. Hey, Rob. Oh, awesome. Rob Huff is here. And he is an amazing dude. He sent me a very precious gift. A really nice blower. I'm going to do like a little thank you video and unboxing and kind of hooking it up to the actual forge video here sometime soon. So thank you, Rob Huff. You're amazing, dude. Went way too far above and beyond on that blower. So thank you very much. Wayne Morey, you can't sleep tonight? Or I can't sleep tonight? Well, yeah, I can sleep just fine. So, just got more work than one man can stand, just about. Jason Lato, what would be the best way to refurbish an old anvil? First, discern whether it needs to be refurbished in the first place. If it's just got a few nicks out of the edge and the face is kind of dinged up, use it as is, especially if you were just beginning at this craft. Just use it as is, because you're going to add enough of your own dings and dents and, you know, probably chips. Second to that, say if it's really bad and then the face is cracked and it's all terrible, weld it up and grind it flat. So, and I've got anvil repair video as well on the channel. All you got to do is type in anvil repair and Christ and Ironworks, and my video should pop up. So, Rob Huff, that's awesome. Third night in the new place. I look forward to eventually someday maybe making a trip down there when gas prices get a little bit better and come visit you in your new place. That would be cool. You're very welcome, Jason. And hello, by the way, everyone who has been showing up in the shop. And I have missed your comment, so I'm going to try not to just keep flicking the screen here. I am on this cruddy cell phone cam just because I don't have Jessica in this impromptu stream. We're going to break it down like we used to old school, where it was all talk and no action, or very little action anyhow. Derek's stuff. Propane your favorite or coal? I don't have a favorite, whether it be propane or coal. I'm a professional blacksmith shop. I'm a professional artist blacksmith, so I use whatever is the appropriate tool for the job. So if that's gas and I need to work in the gas forge, that's what I'll do. If it's more economical to run gas at the moment, I'll use gas versus coal. If it's more economical for coal, I use coal. It just all depends on the job and what's at hand, whether I take and do that or not. So. Yeah, Newt, Brandy. Yeah, would that make it a mini Roy ramp? Yes, it would. Oh, Derek stuff. No, coal prices aren't, well, yes, they are. So they're about $600 higher than what I paid for my coke last year. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. You just hear the saw stop. So let me reset it real quick, and I'll continue to answer that. Now I'm back. So the coke right now, it's about $600 higher than what I paid in previous years. I just finally was able to get my order in. Transportation costs and everything just went up on it, so it's quite a bit higher. So I actually just purchased this last ton of coke for about $1,600 up here, and I'm pretty low. Rob, you saw my OSHA-approved starting process, right? So, anyways, so yeah, I'm still waiting on a ton of coke to actually show up here. I got to have it delivered to northern Michigan because there's no place up here that has that. So, Kansas Prairie Forge, good to hear you, buddy. Glad you're adding that addition. Let's see here. Is that Stephen Adams, is that your forge or is that your basement? It is not my forge. It's actually the fabrication side of my main forging shop, and this is an old dairy milking barn. Oh, somebody asked me if I'm Catholic or Protestant. Protestant. See here. Some bad dad jokes. Good evening, Mr. Troy. Good to have you. Bar on Forge. Wayne Heinz, good to see you, by the way. Tobacco Maker. Darren down on the Farm and Forge, thank you for being here. Justin Ray as well. All right, I think I'm caught up on those, so yeah, good to have you all here. Mountain Home Forge, they actually transport it all the way from Arizona. That's where they're stationed at, closest local hub to me. So that's just where it kind of comes out of. I don't know where they get it from, probably the East Coast somewhere. They transfer it somewhere in Arizona, and it's got to come out here. So, Derek stuff, yes, I had to trim my beard because of copper work. So, I needed to be able to get a tighter fit on the respirator, and my beard was just too thick to do that. Plus, the second problem with working on the polishing of the copper basin that I'm working on right now with Thomas Goodymoot, I'm allergic. I have copper toxicity from years of doing a no-no of like working with copper without a respirator of any kind, and it built up in my blood system. So now I'm actually allergic to copper. So my throat will swell up shut. My hands will get red and puffy. I'll break out in hives and lesions all over. And it's a real nasty thing. So wherever the copper touches, dust-wise, instant scaliness going on there. And so having a beard traps all that dust in that beard. And then you got, as much as you try to wand it out, all that sweat in the beard, the oils and stuff in your skin, it just traps it and locks it right against my face. So, so in an effort to not dying, I decided I'd shave down the beard so I could actually get on my facial mask a lot easier. So. Yeah, Tobacco Maker. So for those of you that haven't seen, Thomas and I, we actually had the fuzz called out on us because some nervous Nelly drove by. I do live on an intersection. I'm on a corner lot of a fairly popular road and, you know, a fairly popular intersection. I do have 8.8 acres where I live, but I am a lot, you know, I'm closer to the road. So thank you, Justin Reyes, for that surprise donation. Greatly appreciate that, brother. So some nervous Nelly drove by and said, I don't know. These guys, they're looking weird. They must be up to something because we're fully dressed out in our Tyvek suits. Let me grab it. So we've got the full garb on. We've got Tyvek suits. I got a facial shield on. I got respirators, gloves. And so long story short, for those of you who are not in the know, don't follow me over on Instagram or Facebook. Basically, little lady drove by and thought we were cooking meth. So she thought we were cooking meth. So they sent the fuzz out on us. It was only one dude. He was cool. Yeah, we were Breaking Bad, you know. Me and Thomas, we said we should do like a little skit, like a video of, you know, Alien Ant Farm's version of Smooth Criminal. And, you know, be dancing in the shop in our white suits. So. Oh, but yeah, anyways, we come up with some interesting stuff. Probably not the best things to be putting out on the internet and being immortalized for centuries to come, so. But, yep. I actually used to be able to break it down pretty good to Smooth Criminal by by Alien Ant Farm, so. But yeah, the you know, the sheriff's department that came up, you know, the officer that came out, he said, you know, he's like, well, we had 2 complaints. There's 2 people who complained, you know, that, you know, there's some suspicious activity going on and characters wearing white suits and they thought that you might be, you know, cooking meth out here. And he said, you guys don't look like anybody we've ever seen who they've busted for cooking meth. So I'm like, well, thank you for that. It was pretty comical. Officer was totally chill. It's a small town, so, you know, wasn't expecting too much more. It's a good thing because he actually approached Thomas. I was inside the house, going to the restroom. I got done going to the restroom, come out. I'm like, hey, there's a black car drive up the way. And I thought, well, maybe it was the pastor coming by to visit. And, you know, I come walking up, and then I see the sheriff's department on the side. I'm about halfway to him and Thomas. And I see the sheriff's department, and instinctually, you know, because I'm a funny man, I'm like, what's happening, Thomas? Somebody call the fuzz? And the cop kind of snickered, you know, so it was like good. I didn't get tased, so it's a good day. It's a good day when a blacksmith doesn't get tased, so. This Uncle Buck Forge is in the house. Hello, Steve. Good to see you. Yeah, she needs an invitation to hit some steel, so. Eventually, I plan on doing like a community event. I mean, this is a private residence. We're over 200 feet off of the road where the barn's at, but, you know, I'm still visible enough to people that they can use their prying eyes, so. I don't care. They might look this way one day and just see me out there just balls out naked, too. That just may happen. And nothing they can do about it because I'm within my legal right to do so, so. Roy will give them something else to look at. Tobacco Maker. But you won't wear a quilt. Nope. You're gonna free ball it, buddy. You gotta fully commit. I gotta look through my water here. You have to fully commit. Imagine what they would think driving by, seeing me and Thomas shooting a music video. Dancing in our white suits. They really would think we're cooking meth then. Woo! Veteran Ironwood, good to have you here, brother. Yeah, this happens when Jess isn't around. This is an intimate stream where you get to know the real Roy, the true Roy, the Roy everyone always assumed he was. Or let's call it the campfire Roy. There we go. Jason Leto, any new products coming out this year? Yes. I'm not sharing what it is just yet. I shared it with the community, with the channel membership, just because, hey, that's a perk of being a channel member, right? I went ahead and gave them a sneak peek of what I was doing. Dropped a little video for them. But I do have a new tool coming out, and actually, hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's going to be pretty darn cool. I'm hoping people will like it. If you notice the ones with the little anvils on fire, those are all channel members. Those are people who've decided to support us on a regular monthly basis for as little as, I think, what, is it $10, guys? I think it's the smallest amount, $10 and up to the, no, I think it's $5, ain't it? $5 is the lowest amount, all the way up to like $100 or $99.99. So good to hear it, Jared. Good to hear it. Glad that you're here. Cool. I got it right. Sweet. Oh. It's your channel, Roy. That's right. All right, let's go fix it. Brandon, BS Small Engine. Good to see you here, brother. That thing gives me a fright every time it does it. Roy, is it normal for Etsy to put a reserve on payments? I'm in good standing, but they put a reserve on my account. Most likely, Brandon, what you need to do is you actually they've probably sent you an email that you need to verify something, and you need to go through their process of doing that. Don't click any links in emails, but go to actually your dashboard for Etsy, and I'm sure there's probably something where they need additional account details. We've been done that way like 3 or 4 different times. It's just when things get like whatever credit card you have on file or bank, they just need occasional re-ups that, you know, you're who you are, that they're paying who they think they're paying, basically. All right, back to my non-OSHA approved bandsaw here real quick. Let me advance ahead another cut. Move this ahead. Don't try that at home, kids. I'm a professional. What am I cutting, Kansas Prairie Forge? I am cutting some more die stock for all the guillotine tools. Oh. Didn't see a thing. So the secret, I want to answer this one by Steven Starler real quick. The secret to starting my bandsaw for the cut is to keep your thumb in line with the belt. So this way it doesn't get trapped. Steven Starler, sorry if there's a video about it, but what are your thoughts on Etsy as a whole? I've heard mixed reviews from merchants, and I'm genuinely curious about it. So let's go into my thoughts. I've got to give you kind of like an FYI when it comes to Etsy. I have been selling on Etsy now for better part of a decade. I think that's about right. I think that's about appropriate. It's better part of about 10 years now that I've been selling on Etsy. So I can be a bit of a fanboy towards Etsy sometimes. Some of their most recent policies, in the way that they charge your account and the way they charge their fee structure, once you get to a certain tier in Etsy, I'm not happy with and I'm not cool with. But when you're first starting out, I'm a fan of Etsy for one big reason. And this is the major big reason that I'm a fan of Etsy for. Etsy spends millions and millions. I don't have the exact total, so I'm not going to quote them right here. They spend millions upon millions of dollars a year in Google Ads. So when someone types in hand-forged blah, Etsy is going to show up at the top end of that list because they've spent millions upon millions upon millions of dollars on Google Ads to make sure their listings come up on the front page of Google. So you may have a very popular person. So say you're forging hand-forged tomahawks. Your site may be very, very popular, but Etsy's going to come and rank up above you because they've spent millions to be there, whereas Google just gave it to you for free. Right? So that's something to keep in mind, is that some of these larger companies, although they might not be as lucrative to sell through Etsy, sometimes it can bring you in that side benefit of more traction to your own website because of the metadata that is there. And metadata is anything, your keywords, your videos, your likeness, your pictures, your geolocations, like things like that is all metadata that the search algorithms out there use to find you and try to connect somebody with you. And that's what they're developed for. Some people can make arguments they're there to spy on you. Well, of course, they're there to spy on you. What they're there for, though, is they're trying to get money. They're trying to extract value from you in some way or the other. If you're not buying a product, you are the product. That's just how it works on the internet nowadays, and that's the way it is. So when it comes down to Etsy, put your stuff on Etsy. Try it out. Put your stuff on eBay. Try it out. Put it on Amazon. Try it out. Keep stuff there. Keep posting and reposting and upping your listings constantly. You want to aim for maybe 100 items up there if you're going to do it full-time for a living, across the board if you can. It could be the same item, multiple postings across multiple different websites, including your own. And what that does is it casts a very wide net and allows you to bring in a lot more fish. It's a numbers game out there. Some people get it in their heads that Etsy, that there's somehow a competition structure with Etsy. So like if you type in, hand-forged needles, right? Or something, or say hand-forged hook. Let's just use a basic one that most beginners will start with. If you type in hand-forged hook, you're going to pull up like a million sellers that have hooks in their title, another couple million sellers that have hand in their title. You're going to have another couple million that have forged in their title. And it's dumb. It don't know. It's like, well, it's one of those three maybe, or is it all three? So it goes through all those. And so there might be 10, 15,000 blacksmiths, say on Etsy, that are all selling a version of a hand-forged hook, and it's going to show you all of those results and all those listings. Who does it show at the top of that? Those who repost the most. That's who it shows at the top. Those who are getting reposting enough, that they're getting enough sales and tractions on those same like items, those get promoted to the top of Etsy. It's a very basic algorithm, and it's really easy to game if you're willing to put in the time and the effort on the numbers. So that's Etsy in a nutshell. But what I want to speak to there is the competition aspect. With 7.3 billion people on this planet, if you were to try to service every last one of them as a blacksmith, you couldn't. There's not enough time in your lifetime, your children's lifetimes, your kids' great grandkids' lifetime to service all those people's needs for any time they look up hand-forged ironwork. So the market is literally way huge. There's no way it can be saturated. Now, if you're local, your local market can be saturated. Because if you show up at a local event and there's 15 other blacksmiths all selling their wares, and there's only 30 booths sold at that event, and there's 15 of them are blacksmiths, you've got a lot of competition that you have to deal with in a market space like that. That's at, you know, that is, you know, local, if you will. Snore, Etsy, snore, huh? Derek, so. Side Hill Forging. I have been forging now for 14 years, if you can believe it. That's crazy. Stephen Starlin, you're welcome. Oh, and that there, good sir, is a mini rant. That's what they're all about. Oh. You're welcome, Brandon. Brandon Jester, I know, it's late night in the shop. This isn't my scheduled live stream, so please go to sleep, enjoy your rest, or rest when you're dead, like I'm going to do. So, Stephen Watkins, Roy Rant, no. Yeah, if to speak to sales specifically, online sales or in-person sales, it's all a numbers game. It's how much information you put out there about your business. There are so many master smiths that have gone before it where they lived and died in absolute squalor and poverty because they didn't have anybody to market them. They were the best thing ever, but you'll never hear their name, and they'll never be name brand and mainstream, and you'll never hear them in any forums, and it's simply because no one knew they existed. So in the internet age that we exist, you gotta get out there with your bullhorn and say, I exist. Pay attention to me. There's something I have of value to offer. And if you don't get out there and you don't do that, no one cares. At the end of the day, no one cares. No one knows they need your thing. You know, they're not going to go like, I wonder who is sitting on page 357,944 of this list that needs some help. Nobody does that. People click within the first 3 pages of Etsy. When was the last time you scrolled to page 2 of Google for your answers? Even if page 2 has the correct answers and page 1 has a bunch of regurgitated nonsense. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You just go to page 1, don't you? You scroll to the top answer and you type in Wikipedia's most cited result, right? As fact, without any additional research. But the good stuff is probably on page 3 or page 7 or page 10 of that very non-popular scientist or that very non-popular, very dry, boring instructor, right, that you've never heard of. They're probably on the later of those pages, but you'll never scroll to them. It's just the way our brains as humans work. We're like, okay, we don't want to put that much effort into this search. Right? That's how it works. That's how it works when it comes to sales as well. When it comes to sales, selling of anything, it's straight up marketing. You have to let them know that you exist and that you work. The very fact that you chose the phone that you're watching this on right now, or the TV that you're watching this right now, came down to somebody shilling it to you, and you believe in what they shilled. It is. It's a fact. It's just a fact. Everyone is the same. We try to pretend like we're better, but we're not. We're not. There you go. That's enough of that. So, woo! There it goes. This gets more and more difficult as the bar gets shorter and shorter. Surprisingly enough, it's easier when the bar is full length. It holds its weight better. It gets a little more difficult the shorter it gets. All right, I'm back. What did you guys say? Yeah, Saul stopped. Drink. Todd, good? Yeah, you made it to an extra live stream. Hey, congratulations on the wedding. All right. Let's hear. Round Mary, I'm not going to pronounce your last name because I don't know how. Mary, has anyone come across any real wrought iron round stock for sale? Best place to look that up, to take in, there are some wrought iron resellers online that you can take and look up. They usually sell them in little short 1 foot lengths, things like that. If you just Google wrought iron sell or wrought iron re-rolling or something like that, to that effect, you should be able to find some companies that do that. I think there's one that I know of. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Another great place is to take and go to, like blacksmithing events where there's other blacksmiths that are parting with their stashes of said wrought iron that's been kicking around for years. Quad State's a good place to go for that. There's always somebody there with some wrought iron. The thing is you will have to probably forge it down to shape. You know, like a lot of the wrought iron I have over 300 pounds of wrought iron in my own private collection and stash, but it's all bridge iron, so it's big and it needs to get forged down. Wayne Heights, word of wisdom, buy die material for your guillotine tool. Hammering out forklift tine to fit it will wear out a cyborg, lol. Yeah. Buy the die stock for the guillotine tools. That helps. So yeah, so I'm working on, that's what I'm actually working on tonight. I'm working on more die stock for this guillotine tool right here. Just like so. So I'm actually working on more dies for that. Unfortunately, I have to travel all the way down. I gotta go take a run to Ohio to purchase some 1/2 inch by 1.5 inch for these, because I'm out of the die stock on those, other than what comes with the kits. So that's going to be an expensive little jaunt. Possum Sausage, you did not miss it. I am live right now. Dan Roswood, so good to see you, buddy. Hope you enjoy your phone call, and thanks again. We'll see you next time. Oh. This low quality, low budget stream here. Yep, Trail S55, buy a chunk of Quad State just in case. I'm glad you did. You never know when it goes. So, Stephen Watkins, have a great evening. Steven Starlin, the die stock that I'm using right now is just your regular 1018 die stock. So it's just basic mild steel die stock, nothing special. The other stuff is just far too high. Right now I'm selling my guillotine tools for 50 bucks for the small, that guillotine tool kit for the arch frame type. Might as well hold it. I'm selling this one in a kit format for 50 bucks. It comes with everything you need. I'm selling this one for 75. Comes with everything you need. If I did the high carbon steel material in what I could afford right now, each one of those dies would probably be 30 bucks worth of material. Like it's just insane. It's an insane brand new cost. I can't get it used, so I would have to buy it new on 20-foot lengths. And that's just going to get, that'll get super expensive right now. I can't scale to that just yet. I hope to eventually, but that's all I can do for right now is mild steel. And I've got dies that I've been running as mild steel for 7 years, and they're just as good as the day I made them. So mild will hold up just fine. You bring hot steel to cold metal. And that's how you get done. Smog's Golem, congratulations on that. I'm glad that worked out for you. Down Under Farm Forge, Darren, hello, brother. Hey, Roy, any chance of dragging you to the South for a wedding in about a year? I don't know. We'll have to see. DM me about it. Let me know some dates, and I might. I just might. We'll see where the gas prices are. And how far south are we talking? And is it winter? Yeah, Steve Starlin, there's no place closer. In fact, Grand Rapids is like the only place that I could even think about going other than Dayton, Ohio, where I've been doing business for the last, 12 years. It's down under. Down and under. I know, it's down under. I don't talk good. Get over it. Thanks, Steve Starlin. Hello, 90 day after Visa is the date so far. 90 days after the Visa. There you go. Let me know, brother. Yeah, if it's above 79, I'll melt. That's right. So that's why I'm not trying to go to Ohio or any other southern places when it's middle of summer. Like, I don't need to. Up here, it's like 68, 70 throughout most of the summer. I'm staying home for the summer. I don't mind going in the fall or the winter places, but summer, I sweated it out in Ohio for far too long. Britting Hammer Forge, I'm surprised you don't drive a steam engine. Buddy, if it was legal to, I would. I also had an idea once to, a long time ago, back when we were doing some hobby farming. I was like, you know what? I'd love to get some ostriches. And Jessica's like, why would you want to get some ostriches? And I said, man, so this way I could have, I could hook them up to a chariot, and then I could go get groceries for free. Ostrich power, And she just shook her head. She's like, no, we're not getting ostriches. I'm like, come on, you can train them. They could be, they could be attack ostriches. He's like, no, that's not going to happen. A lot of people got that Mr. Volcano gas forge. They got those loaded back up on Amazon again, by the way. So that's good that they got those back in stock. Picture number 3, I can't get out of my head. Roy riding his attack ostriches all the way to Ohio. I could do that. That is, by the way, my favorite animal, ostrich. Why? I don't know. I'm an odd guy. I like weird stuff, and that's one of the things I like. Ostriches. They just have one of those faces that you just can't trust them, and I just like that so much. I do. If you bought ostriches, the neighbors really would think you're cooking that, huh? They most certainly would. They most certainly would. Yeah, just be careful how the wind blows. That's right. Oh. Thank you all for joining me, by the way. This is a lot of fun. Otherwise, I'd just be listening to some podcasts or something else. That's normally what I do when I'm working super late. I just listen to some podcasts or some tunes and zone out and get busy with things. Hey Eli, yeah, attack ostriches. They're the best. So let's see here. Scott Langhurst, how come the Stop My Mr. Volcano Forge at the Canadian border? Scott, I don't know. That's one of the freebies we sent you. Get with us. If you were a winner and we sent one to you, get with us, and we'll work that out. But I don't know if it's something you purchased from them. It's probably customs, and unfortunately, Canada, and all international things are weird right now, unfortunately. I'm glad, Brandon Jester, this is fun for you new guys. Mow the pavement driveway. Diana's laughing at you, Roy. Yeah. I'm a laughable kind of guy. What can I say? No. I'm missing the beard right now, like fiercely. Miss it. Yep, it was a lot nicer. This is usually what I'd call like a summer beard. It's a little shorter than a summer beard because I had to go out and buy some new clippers and they didn't cut as long. The max they cut was 1/2 inch. And, you know, usually I run this and throughout the summer about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Whoop. There we go again. Next. Look away, anybody who's squeamish. All right. Almost perfect every time. There we go. Drink! Mary, what are we making tonight? I'm making up some more dies, basically some die blanks for the guillotine tools that I'm selling over at the website, www.blacksmithblanks.com. Yeah, so I'm just cutting up more pieces for that, so the next run of orders, whoever orders something, I will have things ready to go for them. I'll be able to restock stuff. Oh, I'm busy doing other things throughout the day. Usually, it keeps me quite busy. Filming, editing, forging, working on clients' projects, material gathering, everything that has to do with business, running a business, and then work my evenings away doing some stuff like this occasionally. Yeah, that saw is a special spin to start model. Gordon McCall, yeah, it just needs a new start run capacitor, so it's the starting side of the capacitor that's bad on it, but when it fully goes out, I'll replace it. I'm cheap right now. It was $100, and it's cut like $4,000 worth of steel, so I just keep running it until I have to spend any money into it. Capacitor is probably like $9 for it, but just don't look, that's all. Castle's Forge, where's the beard? I had to shave it. I had to shave it so I could work on some copper work and get my respirator to fit tighter. Yeah, I gotta crank that bit. Zoom! Yeah, I still got all 10 fingers, so it's cheaper this way for right now. Possum Sausage, take care, brother. Glad to see you in here. So, yeah, it looks like it came over on the Mayflower. So, yeah, Possum Sausage, I won't be live on Friday, but Jessica messaged about that. I think our next scheduled live stream is on the 8th. Man, 55 people and a $5 super chat. That's a lot higher than I was anticipating for this evening. I thought maybe I might get 10 people, maybe 12 night owls in here, something like that. I don't even know what time it is right now, but that's what I was figuring. It's probably good that I don't know what time it is. Well, let's see here. We've been live for 44 minutes, and we started at 8:40. So somebody do the math so I don't have to on camera. Yeah, Smog's Golem, hopefully you won't be there. The Garden Project, hello? Or the Garden Prophet, sorry. A little further away from the camera here. Kansas Prairie Forge, yeah. Yep, she's got them all tucked in and talking to her mom right now. So you're dealing with me? in the shop. And low quality, low budget camera phone stream. That's how it works. Troy. You want to see me snag a finger around there? Is that what it is? Will that excite you? Will that make you entertained? Hey, thank you, Brandon. BS Small Engines. God bless you, brother. Thank you for the $2 super chat there. Oh. Rob Huff, a BANA conference in Texas got canceled. Some of us that were going are working on a backup plan. Huh, that's cool. Oh, somebody got the movie reference. Yeah, I kind of figured the BANA conference was going to get canceled myself, just because the time to do the shout out of, hey, we ain't got enough attendance here, isn't like 45 days ahead of the event. It's like you got to get on it from the beginning. Again, marketing, right? Marketing. You got to convince enough people. One thing BANA definitely is fighting against is gas price. That right there, I think a lot of people got a lot of fears about the gas prices going super high with all the doom forecasting that they're doing with it. And so everybody's like, nope, with extra nope sauce. It's not worth spending $900 in gas to show up. One thing that BANA doesn't have going for them is they are not central, they're not in that bread belt like where Ohio, where SOFA is in Troy, Ohio. Like, there are so many states that are easy for you to get to and traffic to. But like Texas is like 4 of those states all in of itself. So you have to it's a long haul. Like for me to take and go to Texas, it'd be about $1,000 in gas, minimum. About $1,000 in gas. And that's mostly one way. So it'd be a bit more. It might be just a buzz more right now. So, yeah. You got to take that into account when you got people and they're trying to come up with all the other higher hiking prices as well. So it's kind of a bad rap on BANA, unfortunately. They drew the short straw on this year, kind of like 2020 was, right? Everybody drew the short straw there. Let's see here. Gritting Hammer Forge. I got a finger caught in the belt of an industrial electric motor in a chicken plant one time. Broke finger and ripped glove. Electrician turned it on while I was welding up the brace. See? That's the problem, right? It's somebody else's fault. No one's here in the shop. I've got to turn it on. Somebody said, oh, you enjoy watching Black Bear Mary? That's awesome. Black Bear Forge is awesome. Yep, lockout and tag out. That's important in industry for sure. Good night, Brandon. Peace. Take care. What kind of plant grows chickens? A processing plant. That's what grows chickens. Yeah, that's bad. I had somebody do that. I had somebody do that to me on an electrical panel while I was working and got hit with 480. Yeah, that wasn't fun. Many years ago, working on chiller. About beat that electrician. About beat that electrician to within an inch of his life, too. Boosted 98 GSX FYI CCI, that was me messaging about the rounded side material for the anvil and hammer of the C-frame. Yeah, I haven't got back to your message. I was wanting you to send me maybe a bit more information on that, like pictures of what you mean. That doesn't make real clear sense to me. There shouldn't be anything that causes your guillotine tool to rock or roll on the anvil unless you've picked up a weld distortion with a warp or something like that. And that's something that most people need to do that. But again, I don't know. So you just have to shoot me some pictures of the thing, and I'll try to get back to you when I can. But thank you for the feedback. I couldn't find any bacon seeds. The material wasn't square on all sides. Okay, well, just send me a photo of what you got, and I'll make it right. I'll see what I can do in the future. Sometimes the beds, for whatever reason, it can run the G code off on something and just send things just slightly askew. And that'll be something I'll have to, address later on. And maybe might even have to do like an FYI video type deal, talking a bit more in detail about, some fabrication techniques, just in case there's any sort of variances, because it's a kit. At the end of the day, it's a kit, so you have to put it together yourself. And if you're assuming it's square, and maybe for me it was just a little, something like that, well, then it highlights itself, and we get to have conversations like this, and I get to adapt, and I get to make changes to the process, hopefully make it better in the future. So yeah, I ran Bandsaw for 8 years. Look away then. Look away. Look away. Don't do what Roy do. Don't say what Roy say. You poor feller. See, this is the danger about doing anything in a professional shop online. There are certain shortcuts, cost savings, health violations, all sorts of stuff like that happens in a professional shop in the effort of just getting it done. It may not be perfect the way that you're, wish every machinery would work, but you've like, hey, I lost a pin out of that. Well, I'm going to shove a screwdriver in there, and that's just going to have to do so I can get the job done. There's so much of that goes on in a normal thing that the internet will eat you alive for it. So, yeah, spin it. So the motor needs a new capacitor. Yes, it needs a new capacitor. Oh. I promise, this might be the last stream that I show my janky cutting setup when it comes to that. Mary, thank you so much for that $4.99. A dancing and happy pair. Thank you. Greatly appreciate that. So, yeah, spinning the wheel like a wheel of fortune. So, hey, Transcendental Artist Studios, good to see you. Yeah, Trail does 55. How'd you get it done so fast? Mostly OSHA violations. Oh. Yep, Joshua. Yep, that's right. The old, I'll fix that tomorrow, 10 years ago. Yeah, that happens. Like, I've been meaning to rebuild my belt grinder for 4 years. It's been needing to be rebuilt for the last 4 years. And something will fall off, and I'll just make do and put something back on. Something else will fall off of it, and I'll weld something else up to put back on. And the thing's all hobbled and cobbled together, but it still grinds parts. So there it is, you know, and I'm too cheap to go out and probably buy, you know, the $3,000 or $4,000 belt grinder that everybody assumes I have in my workshop. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them boozy kind of, I'm not one of them cool blacksmiths you see on YouTube that have millions. Nope. Nope. In fact, most YouTube blacksmiths don't have millions. So, but yeah, I'm not one of those cool new age smiths that that came to it loaded and just bought all their equipment brand new. I've worked for every inch, and I do mean every inch of everything I got. Darren, her knife is doing great. Doing great. I'll have to ask her what she thinks of it specifically. She does a lot of the cooking, so. Roy rant number 2, yeah. Thank you, Boosted. I'll check that out after I get off of here. Or maybe possibly tomorrow afternoon. I'll take a look at that. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Yep, that's right, Brute Limit. It gives you an appreciation for it that way. Yep. Oh yeah, so you know, it's real important. So I'll go on a little rant like that. We all make assumptions, right? Like we make assumptions every day about people we see on the street based upon the car they drive, the house they live in, the clothes they wear, the general hygiene, the cleanliness of a person, their work ethic, their words, how they talk, their intelligence level. We make assumptions about everybody. It's human nature and logic to take and do so is to make assumptions about your fellow mankind, person-kind, humankind. You're going to make those assumptions because it's natural to do so. It can become toxic, however, when you let those assumptions dictate how you feel about what you're accomplishing in your own life and what you're doing. So I do it all the time. I'm not preaching at you. This is just me sharing with you that something I struggle with too. Is you look at somebody online and you may say, well, man, must be nice to be born with a golden spoon in your mouth. But you don't really know that person. So you don't know if you're just catching this one little sliver of their life and it just literally got good for them last year. Right? Or it literally just got good for them a month ago. Or maybe they've spent the last 20 years of their life working to this point to get to where they're at. And you may be at a different place in this journey and you're thinking, well, must be nice to take and grow up with that, right? But you're catching just a sliver of a whole human's life. So it's really, really hard to judge that person based upon that. You can make assumptions about them. That's okay. But be wary of passing judgment on some internet person you see, or anybody, really. Unless you truly know the guy, right? Like, you know from birth they were literally born with a golden spoon in their mouth, and we're like so always. Well, guess what? Right? You can then say that you've known that person the entirety of your existence, so therefore you can not pass judgment, but you can make a pretty good assertion that that person is, you know, it's a fact, right? They were born with a golden spoon in their mouth. That is a fact, right? So that's one of the things that we weren't prepared for with the internet, right? Polite conversation. The internet it's a mixed bag, right? Anybody can say anything. It's becoming less and less anonymous, which is both good and bad. You know, so even things you say, you're like, I get to say whatever I want about this person and it'll never come back and haunt me. Well, no, it does. It can come back to haunt you. People can find you. That metadata I was talking about earlier. So, you know, so as that becomes more, I think conversations are slowly milding down a bit. You start online, people are starting to come back to more reasonable talk. There's still those pits of despair out there on the internet, quite a bit. But I think people can, I think people are going to start having better discourse online in the future. At least that's my hope. I'm an optimist when it comes to it. But I've had people like accuse me of ill-gotten gains, you know, or accuse me of, you know, somehow being undeserving of everything I've worked for, right? And they don't know the first thing about me. They don't know where I came from. Most people don't realize that I've actually spent a good portion of my childhood homeless. People don't know that, but it's true. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and look at where I'm at today. Have I got the best shop in the world? No. Do I have the dream that everyone's aspiring to? No. People have different, yeah, even cooking meth. With my leaky pot and my janky bandsaw. Yeah. Thanks for breaking the tension of that sentimental moment. He said even to the point of cooking meth. That was well timed. That was well timed. So. Oh. Oh, too good. Too good. Yeah, that was legendary. Way to go, Roger. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Not everyone's dream is the same dream. So again, you judge people based upon like that one small sliver of their life, you know? And you don't know where they come from. You don't know what stuff they've dealt with. You don't know the hardships. And you know, the real fact is we all have stuff. We all have stuff down in here that we have to deal with. We all have demons. We all have skeletons in the closet. We all have a journey to take and walk through this life with, and we all choose to deal with it different ways. And with that being said, that means you're not special. The thing you're going through out there right now isn't special. The thing I'm going through isn't special. Me feeling like I'm on the top of the world one day and at the bottom of the pit the next isn't special. Many, many, many hundreds of thousands of millions of billions of other people on this planet all experience those same emotions. So we can all have empathy with one another that way. So, you know, otherwise we would all be the Kardashians or something like that. Not there yet. Just checking. It's going to make that loud crack. Roy the Blacksmith. There we go. Ah. Yeah. Notice that in the back, eh? That's right, Rob. I can't mention anything about that on the whole YouTube because, you know, that's sensitive things. It makes some grown squirrels cry. That's what I like to call the Mouse Getter 2000. It gets all them mouses. All them mouses. You're like, what is he talking about? And reclaim. Welcome everyone to the Roy Variety Hour. Professional. to these machines keep them all completely oiled. Oil them, oil them, oil them. Somebody, do a super chat, Steve Starlin. I have to head out, but thanks for sharing, laughs, doing Q&A, sharing your wisdom. You've inspired me in part to start blacksmithing as well. So thanks for that. Have a good night all. Steven Starlin, thank you so much for being here. God bless you, brother, out there. And yeah, may He bless you on your journey. Greatly appreciate you for stopping in. Somebody made the suggestion about a vertical bandsaw. I appreciate that. With a vertical bandsaw, man can only have so many tools, or I can only afford so many tools right now. Good gravity drop bandsaw. The great thing about that is I don't have to watch it. I can be focusing on this, and I can just let that run aimlessly in the background. And so that's kind of your box standard if you're wanting to do that sort of thing. I do have a quarter bandsaw. That's vertical, that really cuts through, hogs through material really quick. But then, of course, I've got to be standing right with it to cut stuff off. I really do, yes, but a dampening vertical drop with flood cooling. I like that. I like that. I'd love to get one of those. I had a chance a while back, but I had such a small shop, I couldn't. You know, it was such a great deal on one, but that's just kind of how life works. I'm in the market for another one though. You know, I'm in a market for. I've got a much bigger shop now where I could put one, and yeah, that would be great. Would be great. So great boosted 98 GSX. That would be awesome. Never heard of Black Rifle coffee. It's out there. No one's ever sent me any. So I have no clue. Bandsaw, it flips up for space saving. That's always important if you got small stuff, so. This is delicious. Roy looks fuzzy. I am fuzzy. Or are you talking about the camera footage? Well. It's pretty darn exciting, eh? That NyQuil coffee. I thought about making up some coffee before I came out because it's kind of a brisk evening, but I was like, well, I need to get to sleep at some point tonight. At some point, I need to be able to go to bed. If I took coffee, oh yeah, no way that'd be happening. I made it back. If it's raining, they go in a hurry. Hey, page 76, Metalcraft. Hello, hello. Kool-Aid. I have had an odd craving for Kool-Aid. As long as it's the right kind of Kool-Aid. Dylan Rose, thank you. I really love my workshop too. It's not perfect by no means, you know. This is kind of my favorite beam in the whole shop. Like, look at that. It's got the tree knot still in it. I really love that. Really love that beam. It's a lot of fun anyhow. What your worst experience in the shop? Jason Leto. Geez. I'd say about 4 years ago, the worst experience I ever had. Yeah, as long as it's Christ Center Ironworks branded Kool-Aid. Where can you find that at? www.blacksmithingblades.com/Kool-Aid. Hyphen. No, don't do that. You won't find anything good. The worst thing was probably about maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I would say I was working very heavily in copper. Very heavily in copper work. And it was midsummer. It had been like 104 in Dayton, Ohio, like all week in Montgomery County. It was like 104, and I had no choice, but I had to be in that white suit and my shop wasn't big enough for me to be inside the shop, so I had to stand out in the driveway where it was sunny, and I was trying to blow a fan on me, and so, oh, it was brutal. It was if it was 104 outside, inside that suit, it was a pressure cooker. I mean, I was just dripping and sweating from every orifice, and I just was not having a good time. I actually gave myself a bit of heat exhaustion and sickness. I mean, I threw up, vomited, because of the heat got so bad. And that was probably the worst day in the shop. It just wasn't no fun. And I was so stressed because I had all these deadlines. I had this like quick turnaround time, and I was just trying to pump it out like a machine. You know, I had tried to hire somebody to help me, but of course they were slow, and they really didn't enjoy doing copper bowl work. So, you know, it left it all on my shoulders. At that same time, I was selling skillets, so I was forging skillets and selling skillets. And yeah, I was selling more work than I could possibly do at a time, and I was working 90 plus hours a week in that kind of heat. So it was a bad time. It was, financially speaking, I made a lot of money in a month, but because I didn't have my budgeting set right, I didn't make a lot of money in that month, if you get what I'm saying. So I made a ton of money, but I spent it almost as fast as I made it because my margins were terrible. And I was just working super, super long hours. It was not fun. He's not in the blacksmith business. He's in the empire business. Me? Aimless Adventures? Hello. You're not late at all. We're only an hour and 11 minutes in. I have almost chunked up that entire bar of steel, though, so that's pretty good. It's only 6 feet-ish long. Bottom bar was. Take care, Aimless. So, hello and goodbye. Again, this is just an impromptu stream. You know, figure I'd chat it up with some folks versus, again, just mindlessly tuning out to some Spotify. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope I've answered enough questions. You guys gotten like 2 rants out of me this evening. So, and by the way, how's the audio? Has it been pretty good? I'm just yelling at this. I'm just yelling at the phone screen. So you'll have to let me know. Kennard Christensen, good to have you here. And be well. God bless you. Take care. See you next time. Who else got to go? Let's see here. Walt Parkhurst. Thank you. God bless you, brother. Thank you for being here. I need to adjust prices. Thinking of that. Everyone is happy at the price means they are too low. Very well could be. If it's too low, it could be, you know, you can up it just a little bit. Be careful going over 5% increases at a time. You can scare people off and then have a little bit of a dip in your business. So, Tim, hello. You said, what's up, Roy? Been watching a lot of your videos lately. Really appreciate all your hard work. Greatly appreciate that. Yeah, but it's not chess quality. It's Roy quality. Boom. Just like that. Just like that. Let's see here. Where are we going to go from here? Now, the problem with buying used steel or trying to get in scrap material and stuff to save on cost, to hopefully transfer that off to the customers, is you always end up with some weird cuts, right? Because you can't make things divisible by even numbers. So you have some off cuts, things like that. So this one doesn't quite make the grade. It's 6.5 inches and not the 7, not the full 7 inches that it needs to be. So, but this I can whop up into probably 2 7-inchers I can get out of this and have just another weird little end cut. So I'm going to draw that up. I've got a whole little scrap buckets. I thought about offering those on the website as like for extra dies for people. I like a reduced cost as called, like call them like factory seconds for dies. I thought about doing that, and that way I could, you know, So, because I've got ones that are like a little long and a little short, and some that are longer and some a little shorter, and they're all in cuts of stuff. I do need Black Rifle coffee. I like coffee. Coffee is good. Yep, boom, trusty bandsaw. All right, well, let me mark this out real quick. So these dies I make, they're about 7 inches. They're 7 inches in length, roughly. Yeah, see, there it is. I got 6.5 on that one too. So I'm gonna have 2 6.5-inch dies, and I'm only gonna be able to cut off one more 7-inch die. So that is how that works. Have to get out the metal stretcher. Stretch it out a little bit. Boom, there goes the trusty bandsaw. Whew. Roy's cutting up. Oh yeah. Hello, High Desert Ironworks. Good to have you. Coffee is life. That's right. yeah. There's candles. Yeah. Don't let them tell you any different. Yeah. Kansas Prairie Forge. Heat and draw it out, right? Then everybody ends up with a little smaller die to work with. Yeah, I've got like an entire bucket of those, like, again, like factory seconds that I'm eventually going to run out of making my own dies for my guillotine tools. I've already got a bunch of dies that I use already. So I'll probably end up offering those on the website, I think. Just in random intervals. Like, pick out the ones, obviously nothing that won't work, but ones that people, that they're already cut, that people can make dies with and just like do like assortment lots or something like that at some point in time. Yeah, that's right, Troy. Don't let the secret out. Night, Eli. Bach Mayo, yeah, 1/2-inch plate, that's awesome. Save it. That is metal gold right now. Yeah, I'm actually in the process for this new kit that I'm releasing here very soon. I actually have to go out and buy a bunch of 1/4-inch plate so I can cut up enough kits. Yep. So, it's going to be a big one. The thing that I'm making, being all cryptic-like, the thing that I'm making to offer on the website, think of it like my power hammer plans, right? All the power hammer plans, all the step hammer plans, all those things. This is kind of a culmination of something I've been wanting to do for a very long time that hasn't been possible without having a CNC plasma bed in the shop, right? And the reason why it hasn't been possible is because I couldn't do it by cutting things out myself, by hand, and sell it as a product. It just wasn't going to work. You know, my shop rate here in the shop is $100 an hour. That's just the base rate of the shop. That's to keep the electric on. That covers anything I may break, bandsaw blades, or all the oil, or whatever I consumables in the shop, plus my time. And that's an hour of time. So I had to find a way of making it. So obviously CNC was always going to be in the plan in the future. So, so it's great that I have it now. So now I can actually bring like a 5-6 year dream into fruition. And what is that dream? That dream, for me, and some people may not believe this or not, but you know, I think everybody that's here right now, all 35 of you that's continued to watch here, all of you know me by now. My heart is for the beginners. My heart is for sharing this craft and getting everybody to grow in this craft, right? That's my goal. That's my goal, is to share what I know and make sure this craft is out there for future generations. That's my whole thing. What started me on this whole kick YouTube and otherwise a long time ago was I got basically told by some older smiths that, well, you know, sucks to suck, you have to pay to play this game. That's it. You know, that was your only option. And that was in reference to buying a power hammer. And at that time, you couldn't even scrape the scratch and sniff sticker of a power hammer for like under $5 or $6 grand. And me at that time, I was just recently jobless. I had a baby who was just born, and you know, my second child, I had one in diapers and one literally just born, and I was making about $700 a month to try to keep up with them, living on government assistance and making about $700 a month in the business and really struggling, right? God provided that whole time. So yeah, the scratch and sniff sticker, I like that one myself. God provided for us the whole time. We never went without. You know, we didn't do it without food and things like that. We had all the bases covered. But I was trying to take it to the next level. I was trying to do something good for my family. And basically, I got told, like, hey, if you're not rich enough, well, oh well. You know, you can't play in this game. And that stuck in my craw like you wouldn't believe. And when somebody tells me I can't do something, or somebody tells me I'm not going to amount to nothing, I guarantee damn well to you, I will. That's how I am. And so that's what started this whole little journey to begin with. It was just purely out of spite. And it's like, okay, well, fine. I'm going to take and reduce the, how do we want to say, I want to say it eloquently here. I want to reduce the demand for your overpriced power hammers. That's what I want to take and reduce the demand for. And that started the journey, right? And then we'll see how expensive your hammers are in the future. That's what started the whole thing with me releasing different designs for power hammers. Woo! That's loud. Oh, I'm yelling, ain't I? I'm yelling. I feel like I'm yelling. So that's what started this whole little journey. I wanted to make my own power hammer. I made my own power hammer, and I said, hey, you know what? I could put this on. I could put these plans out there. I had a guy come to me. He said, hey, you know what? I can make those plans for you, but it's going to cost you. And I'm like, sure, fine, right? It wasn't going to cost me a whole lot. It was just going to cost me a percentage. I'm like, sure, let's do it, right? Let's get it out there, so this way, you know, I can get these plans out there to people where I've progressed to at this point. They weren't the most well, I mean, the Da Vinci cam hammer was not the most well thought out and most over-engineered thing. I made it in a weekend with scrap wood. And then I upgraded it to a much better version of itself. And I sold that plan too as well. $8. You can go find them over at our Blacksmithing Blanks. You find them over at our blacksmithpdfs.com page. It's all the same page, by the way. Blacksmithingblanks.com, blacksmithpdfs.com. If you type that in, it lands you in separate sections of the same. It's the same website. It all goes to the same person. But so that's what started. So long story short, if you will, long story short, in that mind of mine, I started thinking. I said, you know what? Okay, I need to find a way of actually producing something that's economical, that somebody could take, anybody in their garage could assemble, could make, and do. And that was the plan. And this year, I'm super excited because that's actually going to happen this year. It's going to start. We're going to start small. It's the first one. It's a big step. But the next closest to this thing that I'm offering, if you want to go out and buy one fully made by somebody, is about $2,500. So it's $2,500, or you purchase this kit that I'm offering for right around $500. And I wish I could go even less than $500. Because why? I hate steel prices right now. They're so flippin' ridiculous. It's not even funny. It costs $200 per kit for me to actually make them. That's like materials only. $200 out the door. So I have to make something on it so this way I can continue on that mission, right? Continue on that mission. So $2,500 or $500 a kit, and it doesn't require a welder. It's all bolt together yourself. You have to swing a wrench. It comes with all fittings, accessory, everything. It comes with everything. And I'm super jazzed about that because part of me, that pride in me, is coming back from that young man that was told, like, oh, well, if you can't pay to play, oh, well, sucks to suck, guy, right? There's a little spite of me that's going, yippee! Look what I just did. So there's just that little bit of it. Nowadays, I don't worry about it as much as I did back then. It really grounded my gears, something fierce on that. People tell me I can't do something. It just really just drove on my last nerve. But it's slowly, like I said, that selfish ambition at first and that kind of selfish thing, even though it may have it helped spurn me to a much better place now, where now I look at it as like, hey, I can offer something of value to people who, are like me, started with nothing, started with a little 6x, or don't have anything, right? You're starting under the tree. You're a sprawling chestnut tree, right? Or oak or raspberry bush or whatever you're starting under, right? You're starting like I did, with a big dream and want to go further. One thing I'm wanting to offer, the very first rendition of this kit, is I want to take an option to make it more handicap accessible as well. Because in this trade, there's not a lot out there for handicap people. There's just not. You can say, oh, well, just get yourself a power hammer. Well, how is your little feet that you're lacking going to reach that treadle to operate that power hammer, right? If you're a service member or a vet and you had both your legs blown off, and you wanted to get into this, right? Your options are very limited. Only wherever you could do your anvil heights. Everything's a little bit more difficult for you to take and get into. So later, Troy. Good to have you here. Sorry, ranting on about that. So. Bye, Troy. Be blessed. Thank you, brother, for stopping by and supporting. If y'all don't know who Troy at Bar Run Forge is, you should. You're slacking. Good guys over there, him and Eli. Oh, I can vouch for them. Oh, anyways, so without me sodding on too much about that, again, Troy, Bar Run Forge, tomorrow, he has a live stream. Great. Be there or be square. So, anyways, that's kind of what started the whole thing, kicked off, and I feel immensely blessed. I feel like disproportionately blessed in my life. My life could have went so many other different ways, but now I'm here, right? I'm here. God has me at this particular place in time that I can bless others with my God-given talents, my brain, and the way it works. And we can take what that was just original angst, and we could turn it into something actually a lot better and good. And, perhaps even stupid blessed. I like that. So, High Desert, you're not going to hear the F word on here. It's not the regular F word. It's the one that ends with Lux. Oh, HUD. Very awesome, Brian. Glad you got it, and I'm glad you got it all set up. That's awesome. Yeah. So, Bill William, it'll be out on the market sometime probably mid-April. I'm hoping to late April, before I get it out there. Like I said, you guys can probably tell what it is. I don't want to show it off just yet until I've got all the stuff. Get you all jazzed up about it. But yeah, so I want to make it handicap accessible, or more handicap accessible, make it more accessible to all out there, all blacksmiths out there. That's the other reason why I do the giveaway live streams. I've been doing giveaway lives since I had, I think we had maybe 1,000 subs. I don't even know. I don't even know if it was 700 to 1,000 subs, somewhere around there. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess people do that sort of thing, is give stuff away online. And it just stuck. And my first early stuff was small streams like this. I did not have 200-300 people in a giveaway live. No, I had 12 people in a giveaway live, or maybe 30 at the tops, right? And like, I still gave stuff away then. I give stuff away now. I hope to ramp this channel up, share it out there with all your buddies and your friends, and watch and give out that watch time, and just share this channel around, because it's just, I enjoy just doing that, because like I said, that younger man being told, well, you can't do something. Now let me re-clarify too. My experience in the blacksmithing field has been very, very net positive across the thing. And this was just a few people, few bad apples out of the whole bunch. By far, I have received like more help and more knowledge than I've ever deserved from well-meaning older gentlemen in this craft, and I'm super appreciative of it. It's helped me to be where I'm at now. So you also have to watch that. Don't let a few bad apples in the bunch spoil the whole thing. Like I said, there is a whole bunch of good, honest, hardworking guys out there and gals that are willing to share everything they know with you about it, because they're passionate. They're passionate like I am about it, and they're passionate like you are about it. And so give a little grace when it's due, and then ignore the trolls. I was interacting with the OG trolls, the ones before the before the days of YouTube even. Sword Silkscreen, hello. Good to see you pop in to say hi. My last giveaway took 9 months to make the stuff from. Yeah, that's a long time. Yeah, High Desert. So, Roy, did the police get a good chuckle out of it when you realize why you're dressed like Breaking Bad? Yeah, they did. Oh, which is amusing, right? People watch way too much TV these days. Like, I can think offhand all sorts of trades that use white Tyvek suits that you buy at Home Depot. I'm pretty sure the largest purchasers of Tyvek suits at Home Depot are not meth cookers. They are, I don't know, they're in the paint aisle, painters, hello, asbestos cleanup crews, hazmat crews, insulators, attic insulators, right? Fiberglassers, yeah. Anywhere where you might have some caustic or toxic chemical or dust that may irritate you in some way, shape, or form, you wear one of these Tyvek suits. So, yeah, I'm in an old dairy barn. How do you know I wasn't like cleaning out a bunch of stalls or something? It just didn't want to get, smuts all over me. You don't know. So, anyways, yeah. People, like I said, mind their own business. Like I said, I'm like 200, I'm literally like 100 yards, almost 100 yards off of any roadway where the barn's at. And and there's still people, like I said, there's still people who somehow decide they want to looky-loo. It's like, mind your own dang business. Oh. But that's kind of the great thing, right? When you don't have anything to hide, right, and you ain't doing nothing illegal, they ain't got a ground to stand on. So you can just keep on doing exactly what you're doing. And they can keep on losing sleep at night about it. Let's see here. Tim, he said, in one of your videos, you said you were in the trades. Which trade were you in? I was in heating and air conditioning in various forms and fashions. I worked in a sheet metal shop. I've worked in commercial. I've worked in light industrial work before. I've worked with gas pipe fitters, doing pipe fitting. I've worked with commercial plumbing. I've also even rode for a short time in a commercial electrician capacity. So I've done just a little bit of everything in a fairly short amount of time. So I started working when I was 14, started into working full time by the age of 15, and yeah, it's been ever since. So yeah, and then there was this weird period when I was first getting into forging, and I was doing this as a business full time. Not only was I doing this forging, but I was also still doing HVAC work at that time, and then all residential stuff. Then there was like this weird period where I went in, I did like commercial service on restaurant equipment, while I was trying to fill in the gaps of our income, when I started doing the blacksmithing thing full time. So Yeah. So there's a little short history. Yeah, that's right, DeBach Baker. Yep, pipe fitting. Aha, the pipe fitting. Yep. You actually learn exactly what the proper use of the flux word is for. They educate you and stuff. Yeah, so actually it's not my neighbors. I only have one neighbor that is right close. I have a second neighbor that's like 200 yards away, but it's only a hunting camp. And then my next neighbor is about a half mile away. So it wasn't a neighbor. It was somebody who's driving through the county, probably some old gal that, had never seen that before. And, you got to understand, I've only lived here 3 years, and for 2 of those years, COVID was the thing, right? So people don't get out much up here. So yeah, actually, I guess I could call that wrong. Up here, your neighbor is still 5 to 10 miles away. They still call themselves your neighbor. So technically, yes, it was probably a neighbor, but not a close neighbor that knows me and I've given Christmas gifts to and things like that. That wasn't probably one of them. They're all pretty cool neighbors. So, oh man, well, I got those bars cut. I could probably cut a few more. Go out in the shop and grab a bunch more. I don't know how long you guys would like this to go on. I don't know if you guys are enjoying this. So, still all too funny. Tim O'Connor, it was hilarious. So. I don't get out much because there are people outside. Well, that's a good reason to stay inside. Karen, possibly. I just give it the benefit of the doubt. There are some really old gals and guys up here. By the way, I'm using the word gal because that's what the sheriff department said. It was 2 gals that had called it. So it was 2 people, and he made one of them in a gal. So, we'll see. I don't know who it was or anything like that. It don't matter. It's all good. Eventually I want to do like a community event in the town of Harrisville. I want to do like a little community event and just kind of do a little FYI, like, hi, I'm the weirdo on the corner. just share about what I do, the love of smithing. Like I said, I'm outside of any sort of township ordinances, city ordinances, or anything like that. I'm considered rural agriculture, so it's just a very weird thing that they would call somebody on. You know what I mean? Because I'm, again, rural agriculture. That's what my zoning is here. And so we're good. We're not even residential. We're not even zoned for residential. So I just have a house on a farm. The barn is twice the size of my house. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go grab some more steel stock here. We'll get this laid up and get it all laid out. So really cool story real quick. This here is a ruler that that I inherited from my Grandpa Blessing. My Grandpa Blessing, he was his name was Gene Blessing, and he passed away just shortly after he gave me this. And it's a very, very accurate ruler that machinists use. I don't know what it's called. It doesn't have a brand on it, but it's a very accurate ruler that machinists use. And the way I came across this is he was telling me a story. He was telling me a story about how you can check to see whether your tape measures are accurate, because different brands of tape measures can have some variance. So your really cheap tape measures aren't as accurately printed as your more professional tape measures, because he was like, well, you can't just use a tape measure to measure this. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a tape measure, right? He's like, they're not all the same. I'm like, what? Whatever. And he showed me via this ruler that not all tape measures are created equal. so he was telling me, like, well, if you start a job, if you're building a house or something like that, you better use all one tape measure if you want to get everything fit right and proper. So that's the story behind this little rule that I use here. And I've been using it proudly in my shop ever since, and will for, hopefully, life. So, wish I would have had more time with that man. He was, you know, real big influence on there. We usually call it a scale. Well, cool, machinist. Who knew? They call it a scale. What's that say? Bethany. I'm going to be known as the Blacksmith. The Blacksmith for now on out. So. You know, it's interesting. In my earlier days of YouTube, and I've kind of lamented and wanted to go back to it a little bit. You know, unfortunately, YouTube wants you to just kind of get everything over quick, fast, in a hurry. People's attention spans are so low nowadays. They just don't have time for a good story. And if you're ever at a blacksmithing event with me, and you're, you know, hanging around a campfire with me, you'll get to hear stories. That's what I love about doing the live streams, even though the live streams hurt the channel. I like doing these type of live streams and things because, like, you know, it's more of a natural way to talk. I like hearing stories from people. I feed off that. I love that. You know, I love having campfire stories. You all sit around, you talk about life, you talk about experiences like real humans used to do. Right? Like real humans used to do this a long time ago. And surprise, it's still the best form of communication out there. This is literally my most favorite way to communicate. You know, earlier on in the channel, like, that's how I did everything with the instructions too. You know, I was like, hey, okay, you know, I'm going to do this, and this is where I learned it from, and this was a guy, and my grandpa, like, you know, talk about this. You're never going to know anything about that. You're like, okay, it's just a stupid ruler. No, there's more. There's a history to this. I'm very cautious about where this thing lives all the time. I make sure I know where this is at because my grandpa gave this to me shortly before he passed away, and it's got a story behind it, right? It has a story behind it. It has a history. And unfortunately, in the rush of YouTube to just snap, get your attention, get you scroll into something else, constant input of stuff, there's no time for that dialogue. There's no time for them stories on YouTube. And you know, I really do miss that. I've thought about just going back to doing that on the channel. I probably just take so much flack. The reason why, basically, trolls beat it out of me. Let's just say that. Trolls beat it out of me. It's just, you know, after your 4,000th comment of, you suck, you talk too slow, you're boring, you know, you're just kind of like, I don't care to talk to anybody now. Oh, as you can see, I still jabber a lot. So, Brew Lemon, why do live streams hurt the channel? So, the way live streams hurt the channel, when you are not a live streaming channel, so if you're a streaming channel and that's what you're known for, those are separate on YouTube. You actually get kind of, there's like separate categories of how they feed that content out there. But there's one big flaw to the way the algorithm works. So, a normal YouTube video, whatever length, you create a video, that video gets an instant spike in traffic, and depending on how fast people click on it and how long they watch that for, they'll decide right in that moment, in that 48-hour time window, on whether that video is worth continuing to serve to your audience and by proxy the rest of the world. Does really good, it'll just keep on sending it. You'll see a growth chart, it'll fly off the handle, It'll kind of dip down like this, and then all of a sudden it'll just grow. And it'll go, and it'll just keep growing. That's how it works. That's a regular video if it's done really, really well. A live stream, however, you watch it live. It's amazing. People are watching you for 5 hours. Woo! Your attention's off the charts, right? But what happens after that 5-hour stream happens for the rest of those 48 hours? Choo! Nothing. You maybe get those few people that pop in that miss the stream that actually care to watch it on the replay. But they're just kind of scrolling through the juicy parts, so they little thing, and then it's dead. And so it sits as dead weight on your channel. And so what happens is those live streams, that's why a lot of the other a lot of the people that start off with live streams don't do them anymore. There's no value. There's no value into it to the channel. In fact, it actually counts against you. So what ends up happening is you have one really good video where everybody's liking it, and YouTube says, hey, you know what? This fine young man here in the north of Michigan, I think we'll promote him more. And then you have a really good live stream, and they're like, hey, you know what? We're going to send out those notifications, and then it dies. And they're like, wait a minute, what happened? He must have made some people angry. Okay. We're just going to let this die off, so then your next video you push out, they don't push it as hard. Fact. It's a fact. It's the way YouTube does it. It's terrible. It only hurts the creators. It doesn't hurt YouTube any. Well, I mean, it does hurt YouTube too. But yeah, that's the way it works. So it actually hurts our channel at Christ Center Ironworks to do giveaway live streams. It hurts our channel to do these little impromptu live streams. So I posted a video today doing really well, and I probably just killed it by doing this live stream. So, but for me, I've put so many videos. I've posted so many videos that I don't really care. We're almost at like 1,800 videos, so I really don't care. There's so many dead videos out there that no one's ever seen. Hence, I get comments all the time asking me things I've already covered in videos. Yeah, Drew Wilson, that does suck. That I've noticed that depending on what device you're filming on, they will either show that on replay or they won't. So, and I don't know which one's which. I've seen it where they've put that, the actual live stream, put the chat on there so you can read it. And at other times, no, you can't watch the live chat and replay. I don't know why they removed that on certain devices and whatnot, but well, I do know. It's money. So if you think about it, YouTube has to pay for servers to hold all this stuff. They have to pay for a lot of data storage to keep all this stuff on their hard drives and their servers for indefinite amounts of time. So it's just more of, if they have to keep all the chats too and all the super chats and work out all the kinks and bugs on that for videos that are 40 years old, it just won't work out long term. So Justin Ray's daughter, hello. I'm glad she's catching some live stream time before bedtime. Well, God bless you, sweetie, and I hope you have a good night's sleep. Well, thanks for keeping us company. Brute Living, you're very welcome. Thank you for keeping me company. Because think of how much more it would suck if I did this live stream and no one showed up. And I just host my own video for nothing. That would not be good. Would not be good. All right, let me get this down in here. Ooh, oh, howdy. This lined up. We'll get this bar all cut up. Make people's happy. Get that going again. Da, 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 da. What else we got here? Rob? No, it ain't free. Oh. Thank you, Transcendental Artist Studios. Thank you very much for that $5 super chat. Yeah, let's keep it going while riding an ostrich. There you go. Oh, all right. Yeah, yeah, that's the interesting thing. So that's a little known secret. So say if you have a favorite YouTuber that used to do live streams, most likely that's why they're not doing it anymore. It's just because YouTube hurts your channel. If you do. It's just the way the algorithm's set up that it makes it weird. It doesn't know where to place them. It's not differentiating between, oh, this was a live, this is not their normal thing, and this is their regular content that they should be judged upon. No, they treat them all one and the same as far as videos goes. So, sad, I know, right? But it's the way the world works. The way the world works. But, that's where the community support comes in, right? Channel memberships, super chats, people buying stuff over at a website, www.blacksmithingblanks.com. Stuff like that. That goes a long way that we just don't have to care about what YouTube does. And I love that. I love it when you can stick it to YouTube like that. And I like YouTube for a whole lot of things. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to connect with you unless they were running the servers. And if they weren't doing this whole thing, I wouldn't be able to know all you fine folks, right? So it has its use and it has its purpose. But I really do like, I really do like, being able to say, haha, algorithm, that's what you get. AI, you don't know me. Dragonstone Gym and Ironworks, Mr. Crawford. Is there anything you haven't made on video yet? Probably not a whole lot. Yeah, there might be a whole bunch of people who tune in and watch my whole day in the shop. Although I'm pretty boring. Like when I'm like this is half working. This isn't really work. Usually when I'm working, I'm doing like 15 different things. I ain't got time to chat, so, it might be quite boring. I did think about doing a 24-hour live feed, though, at one point. That might be fun. Oh, no. Am I here? Are you all still here? I was touching it. It crashed. Are you there? Am I here? Is any of us here? Maybe? Are you all there? Are you coming back? Type with your little fingers and say yes. Okay. Sometimes, what is here? Why is here? Lost the safety glasses. Smooth move. Hello again. Oh. Yeah, I don't know how long the thing is, like how long this will stay running for. I can't pull up the other part of it, but I'm gonna stop touching it because it might crash the stream again. It's doing better than my old phone. I will give it that. The question of the day: yeah, are any of us here? Is this a simulation? But why is here? Okay, see? There we go. I just got a notification on the phone. It said, battery may run out soon. You have 58 minutes left. So there you go. There's our time clock. We have 58 minutes left. So when I go dark and you no longer see me no more, it's probably because the phone died. Oh. Mary, Jess, my wife, she's actually inside. Enjoying some alone time. Not really. she's inside. She put the she put the kids to bed and she's busy talking to her mom that lives out in Colorado. So I imagine they're still jawing. I asked her, I'm like, hey, are you going to be calling your mom back tonight? And she's like, yeah. She's like, I think I will. And they usually get to talking for, a couple hours anyhow. I'm like, I'm going to the shop. Better than me just sitting around. I got so much work to do. I'm like, I better just go to the shop. It'll be better that way. Yep, still an hour with our buddy Roy. The buddy. Oh. Fun fact about Roy. Let me do another one. I'll do another one. Ties back into something that I was talking about earlier, how you're only getting a small sliver of somebody's life. And, you assume a lot, but you really shouldn't judge anybody until you really know them, unless you know them for a fact to be a certain way. a lot of people don't understand this. Like, I get made fun of sometimes about the way that I talk. I mix up words and stuff like that. And that's actually because, you know, this is me sharing a little heart-to-heart here, because no one's going to watch to hour 55 minutes in a video. So I could share this. There's only these 49 lucky viewers that don't know this about Roy. But I used to have a really bad stuttering problem. Like a very bad speech impediment stuttering problem. And it worked. It always happened when I got super, if I got excited, if I got more excitable as a kid, yeah, I'd start stuttering. And if somebody starts like stuttering around me, I've got to like really work super hard not to stutter. Otherwise I'll start stuttering too. It's something I had to like work really hard. And my parents even took me to a couple speech therapists to work out my stuttering when I was a kid. So yeah. So that's why sometimes I put words in wrong places. Now you know. So please excuse me if you don't think I'm a very smart man, Jenny. Because I'm probably not. Yep, I stutter when I get nervous or anxious. That's right, Sally. You know, very, very difficult. See, I have to stop myself when I do that. If I get too hyped up about something, I'll say things 2 or 3 times sometimes, which is bad. And you can see it on some of my earlier videos. I struggled with that with the camera because it wasn't I wasn't reading normal facial cues. Obviously, I'm just reading this little, you know, screen here. And it was very difficult with that. I would lose track, you know, where I was going. So I'd be like, okay, what we're going to do today is we're going to do this thing. Okay, so what we're doing today is this thing right here. See, it was double. I still do it. But in editing work, it's hell. Let's just say it's still hell on me in editing work. That's just the way it is. But, you know, to explain something, sometimes I have to say it 2 or 3 different ways in order for me to make sure I got the information out correctly. If that makes sense? Does that make sense? It takes me 2 or 3 times to make sure that information got out correctly. And I think I said what I thought I said that I should think I thought I said. So. No. But see, so there you go. Little lesser known fact about Roy. Bearing all my dirty secrets. We all already found out. I'm a bad boy. Making the meth in a copper bowl that I'm grinding. Up here in northern Michigan. According to some little old lady. Yeah, that's hard when you know a word and it comes out blank. I have a hard time with that, like in the moment, remembering things like facts, like about people. Things, no. Facts, no. Like I'm really good at recalling facts, like almost photographic memory good about, I read a label and that label said, you know, I'm good at that. But you tell me your name, oh man, oh terrible. Terrible. You tell me what your wife's name was? Oh, man. Ooh. It's a her. Somebody. Hey, you. Right? I'm really terrible about that. You know, or trying to speak more intelligently than maybe I am. Or more, not intelligence. I don't think intelligence has anything to do with it. It's like eloquence, right? Or being able to speak like with fancy words. That's a lot harder for me. Because I didn't grow up fancy. Wasn't surrounded by fancy. Just remember, I am the bald guy from Texas. Just like I'm a blacksmith with beard and bibs. Good luck finding me in a crowd. Oh. You know, the very funny thing is, almost nobody comes up to me at Quad State and says, "Hey, you're that guy from YouTube," because they notice the face. No, they notice the voice. Something about my voice, it either grates on people's nerves or it drives home into their soul, and they narrow in on that. But I can't tell you how many times I've had somebody say at a blacksmithing group, mostly so at Quad State, hear me from like a mile away. They're like, "That guy from YouTube's here," and they come find me. Just based upon my laughter, my cadence, my slurred speech. You know, who knows what it is, but it's so funny that, you know, it's like I can't hide the disguise. I would have to talk like this or something all the time. Disguise my voice, get one of those like voice translators to speak through that. That's probably my only chance. Still hanging on by a thread. Somebody doesn't have an account. Oh no. Darren, I don't have an accent. Of course you don't, when you're surrounded by your own people. Rob, you don't blend at all, buddy. I can see you towering like a behemoth from a mile away, my friend. Yeah. Old guy from Texas. Yeah, if anybody hasn't ever seen Rob, Rob's a big dude. Like, if we were standing here, like, this close to camera, you'd be looking at Rob's chin fuzz right about here. About here, you'd be looking at his nipples. They'd be nipple height. He's a big dude. And that's saying something, because I'm 6'1". In my dreams. I'm 6'1" with my boots on. Yeah, Rob. Oh, you're the big guy. Exactly. That's what they lead with. See here. John Mawini? Mawini? Any words of wisdom for a new smith that is handicapped? Not completely wheelchair bound, but needs to sit anvil height setup. I would say a really great smith for you to go check out is Glenn over at GS Tongs. Now, he sits and does everything. And the way he's got his anvil set up and stuff like that, and his forge setup, seems to be very conducive to somebody who needs to sit a lot. Yeah, GS Tongs. Glenn over at GS Tongs. You should go check him out. Rob, if you want, or if you can drop his channel link there or whatever if somebody wants to see it. I don't know if YouTube will allow it on the live stream here or not. But you were about to say that, Roy. Good. Yeah, so John, that's my first recommendation, just so you can really pick up some ideas about how to kind of set your area up, because you do a lot of setting. My personal disability, I have a really bad back in my lower, basically like the lower above my hips. I got in a really bad car wreck many years ago. That's what started me kind of down. It kind of kicked me right off into doing the blacksmithing full time, because I couldn't do HVAC work anymore. I couldn't move furnaces, and my main thing is I can't do a lot of bending or twisting at the hips kind of type deal. It's something I can't do. Thank you, Rob, for that. So in my shop, the first thing you'll notice is I set everything up high. Everything's up high, a lot higher. So I'm a big fan of keeping nice proper forms, standing straight up at the anvil, because I have to. Otherwise my back is just destroyed at the end of the day if I have to stay constantly bending over. So HVAC, HVAC&R, myself. Okay, so yeah. So if you've recently been handicapped from that, or you have a lot of problems with that, and you got a lot of sciatica problems. When I first started blacksmithing, the very first thing I started with was little horseshoe nail hooks. Let me grab those for you real quick. Just hold on 1 second. Darn, I don't have any unstraightened. So I was using some, those are messed up the wrong way. Some RH6 horseshoe nails. These are Cape Wells. The brand is hashtag not a sponsor. But I was making, see that okay? I'm making these little horseshoe nail hooks to start off with. And they're just made from a horseshoe nail. You flatten the head out and you drill them. You put a little twist and a little curly Q hook on them. And I was making these. This was the very first thing I was making for a living. That's what I was making to support myself and my family, and doing whatever odd jobs I could. I have a good friend of mine named Richard Krim. He came alongside, gave me a lot of like jobs he could do himself, that but he just did them to help me out. Give me some feeling of self-worth, right? Which was good, because I was like super depressed at the time. And so he gave me some jobs where I could, peel stickers and paint and things like that, because he was doing remodels. But I could sit down on a stool. I couldn't stand for really long periods of time. In fact, I put about 6 months in on a walker after my car wreck. So I was really, really banged up bad. But yeah, so that was, that was my particular, and still is, it's something I still deal with to this day. But that was kind of something I started with. It was something that I didn't need to develop a lot of force hammering, right? I didn't need to take and develop a lot of force hammering, but I could still enjoy the craft, and I could still make a little income at it and make a living at it. So, see here, Jim Q, I made a can full of those horseshoe nail hooks to sell, but I ended up using most of them. They're pretty handy. John, you're very welcome. You're my hero. There it is. Everyone in here's hero of me. If you just talk to different people in the community, you'll find a lot of people that have similar stories to yours. We all come from different backgrounds, walks of life, thought processes, belief systems, everything. It's just a big smelting pot. That's what the blacksmithing community is, and that's what it's all about. So welcome to the channel. Subscribe, bell for notifications, all that other stuff. And please enjoy the channel. There was a ton of information I put out there. Like I said, over 1,700 videos. Eric, thank you. Thank you for being here if you're bouncing out. But yeah, I put out a ton of information on that to help people out, just like yourself, just getting into the craft and starting blacksmithing with a load of tips. So, yep. So that's my suggestion. So hopefully I didn't overwhelm you with information and sensory overload there. But yeah, definitely GS Toms. He's a good guy. Go check him out. I don't think he has any physical elements where he has to sit down. It's just he's smithing on his balcony, and he sits down, and it works. So it works out good. And I'm hoping some of these tools. Oh, she rang. I'm hoping some of these tools that I come up with in the future here will help out, again, disabled folks or people that have problems and certain physical deformities that kind of hurt their ability to do the smithing that they want to do. So we'll see how that goes in the future. Hopefully well. Here I am. John, thank you so much for that $10 super chat. You didn't have to do that, but very greatly appreciated. Very greatly appreciated. It really helps to support the channel here. Thank you so much for that. Speeding office chair. Hopefully that's not how you got disabled, because that's got to be an epic story if it was a speeding office chair. Come on, don't lie. You were tempted. You went too fast. It was a dare, wasn't it? Yeah, Darren, I definitely started a thing with the nail hooks. Before I posted about those online, there was zero videos or anybody doing nail hooks out there. I mean, there was people out there forging them, and they were on Etsy, and they were everywhere else. That was all well and fine. But it definitely ramped up the game after posting about the nail hooks one. So, and I've been having Thomas, who's been apprenticing under me. I've been having him work on doing those nail hooks. Those are actually his nail hooks, and we're still selling them through our website at about $20 a pop. So, not $20 a pop, but selling them 20 at a time still. So they're still a very popular item that could be sold. Johnny Walker helping the push. Awesome. Well, who's enjoying the stream? Anybody enjoying the stream? Is this good? Is this fun? It's kind of like we used to break it down old school on the channel. Back before Roy got all big and arrogant like. Huh. Got too big for my britches. Even though I was actually way skinnier when I started this whole deal. It's all the stress eating that YouTube's put me through. That's gotten me to the point where I'm at now. That's what I'm going to do. I want to start blaming the man bod that I got going on here. The dad bod, the epic dad bod. I'm blaming it on YouTube for all the stress eating they've made me do. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad I could put one of these up. So, yeah, stress eating. Yeah, I don't see the sticker me please 72 billion times. Yeah, that's right. Oh. You know, those type of streams, they have their place, right? They have a lot of impact. I know some guys get kind of surly about them, right? You know, the channels, you know, the people who've been around the channel forever, it's kind of like, come on, I'm trying to get my question answered here, right? Or whatever, I'm just trying to hang out and, you know, like we did in the old days. I understand that. The thing that about it growing and where it has its place is it brings a lot of people in. It ushers a lot more people into kind of this family, this community that we got growing here online. And that's a good thing. With that, obviously, comes the other side of that sword. You're going to get more trolls. That's going to happen. The more popular you are, you're going to get more, how do I say? You're going to get more disingenuous people, so to speak, right? That's going to show up, you know? Good night, Drew. Sorry I missed you saying goodbye. Drew Wilson, good night, brother. Take care. So you're going to get more disingenuous people, right? You're going to get those people who are just there for the giveaway or whatever, right? They're disingenuous. They're not really there because they actually care about the channel or want to learn anything or stuff like that. In the larger you get, you're just going to get more of that, and I've just kind of accepted it at this point. I would like to do more on the membership side of things, like do like a private live stream just for members only. But I hate putting things behind a paywall, right? Like, because then people are like, oh, he only wants to be my friend if I'm paying him money. Well, it makes you a really good friend, but that's not the benefit of my heart, and that's not where my heart's at or my head's at. It's just, well, how do you reduce the amount of disingenuous people? You have live streams for people who are showing their genuine, interest, right? And you kind of self-select people like that. But that's the problem. See, that's the problem. I can't just do that, and I can't just always do the big giveaway streams. So it's a weird balance, right? It's a weird balance here on YouTube. So I've got to kind of try to keep it balanced what I can do. This stream's been pretty good. I've been able to answer everybody's questions because it's weird. It's on a Wednesday. It's not in anybody's forging time or schedule, and it's a late night stream, so most people are asleep or whatever, right? Like, so now I can have this kind of conversation and this dialogue with people, and I like that. But I'm not always in the shop at midnight. You know what I'm saying? Or 10 or whatever. Yeah, I mean, like if I did a members only stream, I just wouldn't want to do that instead of something. So if I were to do a members only stream, I would think about maybe of like doing something like an after party of a regular forging stream, right? Like, so we do like a forging stream or do like a giveaway stream, and then we have the after party, right? That's for members, for anybody who wants to do members, right? Like do something like that. That way everybody gets a little piece of the action, right? So maybe everybody gets a little piece of the action. It's just really weird if you say, hey guys, you're trying to do a genuine heart, like, hey, for all my loyal supporters that have always supported us and everything like that, it's like, we're going to start offering some members only content. Break out the nooses, folks, and the pitchforks and the torches. They're going to run you out of town on this whole thing. Just because you mentioned exclusivity in any sort of way, even though that's not your intention. So then you'll have all those critics that'll be like, I knew it. He was going to change as soon as he got big. I knew it. Called it. Good night. High Desert Forge and Ironworks. Take care, brother. Mr. Crawford, you take care. Alex is here. Hello. Good to have you here. Handman Ironworks. Good to see you, brother. Long time no see. Good to have you here. Yeah, exactly, Darren. And that's the other thing too, right? Like, some people, like when I started the channel memberships, people felt a little bit cringy. People felt a little bit cringy about that, like, Or then there's other people like, man, I really wish I could. They felt kind of obligated. Well, I really wish I could, but good luck on your journey, I guess. It's like, whoa, I'm not telling you that the whole channel's paid. This is just like, this is for like extra content. This is just for extra benefits, right? If you're not in a good financial spot, please do not go give your money to some weirdo online. Like, that's not a good move. If you're playing chess, that's not the play to make, right? You've been demoted to pawn, if that's the case. So, like that's where it is. You have to take, it's, I got to be careful how I pose stuff, for people. Like I said, everybody kind of picks up on it a little bit different. I think I speak clearly, and then sometimes Well, we all know I don't. We all know I don't get across what my actual true intention sometimes. Iron Room Forge, thank you so much. God bless you, brother, for the $20 super chat. I said I like these live stream. Been watching your channel since the beginning. 90% of what I have learned comes from your channel. LOL. Got to get out more. Everybody with a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for sticking with the channel. You've been watching from the beginning. You've seen me through various life stages. And that's a lot to go through. That's a lot to take of Roy. Oh, but yeah, you know, so it's always a delicate balance with the whole YouTube thing. It's a weird, it's just a weird thing. It's just something I never thought about. You gotta watch how you say things, so this way you don't unintentionally, it's not offend people, but I guess make people feel bad in some way. You know, I don't want to do that. You'll be buying some online books from some weirdo on the online. Oh, well, good, Darren. When you get the chance. Yeah, it's like my little rant on the shilling, right? You know, that last live stream. What's interesting is I don't see the comments. Jessica's reading them, and she's my filter, which is pretty good. That works out pretty well. And we have the most epic, and I do mean epic, channel mods out there, I think, personally. Hands down. You guys, 99% of the time of it, you're like, I'm on it. You know, if there's some bad actor or whatever going in and causing a fuss and a ruckus, bam, it's been slammed. You know, the band hammer has. So, but you know, so thank you, Rob, for throwing that out there. You know, I really, like I said, I really appreciate the channel mods that take time out of their day to make that happen. So everybody give them a round of applause. They deserve it. Yeah, Justin, right? Yeah, that's right. Having Jessica helps Roy from becoming unclothed or unhinged. So that's really good. Oh. Wait, are we supposed to clean the mink tank? Nah. Let it get all filthy. Actually, fun fact. So, watch your dirty minds, folks. It's called a bung for a reason. The bung in my 55-gallon stainless steel drum actually popped loose because of the ice expansion. And so when it all thawed out there, it all drained my tank. So, so my tank is nice and clean now. My manky tank is clean because the bung fell out of it. I'm going to live in shame when I go inside to Jessica. She's going to be like, oh, Lord, Roy, what did you say on the internet? Oh, my Lord. Do you even Christian, bro? That's what I'm going to get next. Oh, perfect. Just like that. Yeah, can't be having your bung fall out. Yeah, gotta have the hand model clean it out. Like I said, Jessica will be shaking her head. Who knows, she might even be watching this right now inside the house. Because she doesn't have to be out here where it's cold. Yes, it's still cold up here, northern Michigan. I think it's like 27 degrees right now, so it's really not that bad. 27 degrees, that's nothing. Nothing. I will say this, I cut my facial hair 2 days? It's 2 days ago. I cut my facial hair. Cut my beard down. And I have already got new growth going. Like, look at these bad boys right here. They're like, nope, with extra nope sauce, baby. Did you forget You live in the north? They're like, no, we're growing. That's kind of cool, Handman. Little copper, green, blue stuff, so. Derek. Yes, I suppose you're right. You gotta be clean shaven. Gotta have something wrong with you, too. Hey, maybe I'll get lucky and all the sheriff's department will become subscribers. Because I gave the sheriff, I gave him how he could find me on YouTube. You can trust this guy. Right? Oh, yeah. Handman Ironworks. He came in late to the... So, Handman Ironworks. The story is, Thomas and I, we were grinding on this copper bowl that we've been working on. Thomas has been helping me out, so I didn't have to have as much exposure to the copper. He's been grinding, so he's been doing a lot of the rough grinding. I'm going to have to do the finer finishes and polishes on it and the final finish work, but I've been having him do that. Well, so we were both standing around in white suits. I had the barn doors open, and we were kind of going in and out, and I was doing various things, and, you know, in my white suit while he's sitting in his white suit. So, the white suit in question is these Tyvek suits, like this. I had my face shield and my, for all those coming in late, my respirator system set up, and so did Thomas. Set this out of the way now, again. Good. So we had all that on. We also had on our like gloves and stuff like that. Well, somebody had drove by, so, an old lady. They got 2 reports from 2 old ladies. I imagine it's probably the same old lady that said, I don't know, there's some suspicious looking characters over there, and you know, I think they might be cooking meth. And so we had a sheriff show up to make sure we weren't doing anything nefarious. So that's right, down on our farm and forge, I'm shilling to the cops. Every last one of them boogers need to take and have a Chrysler Ironworks logo on the back, boom, of their cruiser. Right? Am I right? Because then I'll be the law. I'll be the law around here. Take care of the... I get to take over the whole town. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe make them all fanboys. That would be great. Or gals. I don't know how many females they have down there. I think they're mostly dudes down there at the sheriff's department. Right, so there you go. I could have a whole slew of new subscribers coming into the thing. A whole new slew of subscribers that I could offer these great guillotine toolkits that you could get over at www.blacksmithandblades.com. This one's good. That's the super special one. I call Blue Thunder. Oh, it's getting late. I think I'm going mad. I think I am. Castle Forge. I'm going a little loopy. It's been a long day. I've been up since 5 a.m. So. I'm going to regret part of this stream, I think, probably in the morning. I'll be like, I think I went a touch too far with my eccentricness last night. You know it's late when you start making old man noises when you do everything. Ugh. Ah. Man. Ugh. My spine. Good, but still not as good as Thomas. That's right. You just need more energy water. That's right. Roy? Vanna? I can't tell. It's here. Jen's Davidson. Howdy, Roy. I'm a member of UMBA, Upper Midwest Blacksmith Association. Do you know anyone in this group? I don't know anybody personally, Jens Davidson. I don't know personally anybody in that group, but hello. Hello. Wade Tumble Opinion, hello. Yeah, there's something different in the air around 9 p.m. Shop is a natural high. There you go. That's what it is. It's all that. It's all them meth fumes. They finally get in the blood system. They change a man. Yeah, I do. Pat Nowak. I know him real good. Yeah, he's come down to Quad State and demonstrated before. That's where I know him from. Patrick Nowak. I know where he's from. Very cool dude. I still have, as far as I know, I still have an open invitation to visit his shop someday if I'm over in the area. And I fully intend to do that at some point. I want to make kind of a voyage at some point, like a little blacksmith road trip voyage, and go around, visit a few shops, and kind of schedule some meetups while I'm in the area for different folks. I think that could be kind of cool. Kind of like a traveling, what's the word for it? Traveling, not circus, no. Kind of like a traveling blacksmith conference in a way. You know what I mean? Just like show up in an area, like, hey, let's meet up at this area, and, you know, do something like that, run a little circuit. Well, thank you. Well, thank you, Jens Davidson. If you want me to come out there and demonstrate, if you're part of a particular group or club, just direct message me, email me. You can find my email over the website at ChristCenteredIronworks.com. You can, you know, get a hold of us that way and see if we can't do something, put you on the schedule. Yep, that could be really cool. I definitely wouldn't mind come demonstrating. Assuming that you feel that I'm worthy enough to come demonstrate. That's the other end. That's the other end of it. So we got a fall conference around October and don't have a guest smith lined up. Okay. Like I said, just get with me about the details, and we can work. You know, we'll see if we can work something out. And for the record, if you tell me details during this stream right now, I won't remember them by tomorrow morning. Jess will be like, well, what? I'm like, there was somebody who was wanting to give me details about an event at some place and at some time, but I'm not real sure of that right now. Jessica is my brain. She's my right-hand woman. She takes care of that. Jessica's my wife. You don't know her. She usually sits behind the scenes. She's usually part of these live streams and writes down people's information. So, yep. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, if you go over to the contact page over at ChristCenteredIronworks.com, you can contact us through that. Usually in every one of our videos, there's like a contact us place as well that you can get a hold of us. So, yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you for saying I got a natural gift for gab and teaching. Some people call it natural gift for gab. Some people call it teaching. I'll take the teaching. That sounds good. I'll take it. Gray, time to put dinner on the table. Have a good evening, all. Have a good evening as well. Now, I will say, this here is a bit more of a loose, laid-back thing. I'm a bit of a ninny when it comes to teaching. I'm a bit of a stickler. You know, I like to give straight-up facts. I like to show everything, illustrate processes really well. So I'm a little more uptight when I'm teaching. I still like to have a good time when I demonstrate. When I'm demonstrating teaching, I still like to have a good time and cut up, but just with a little bit more directed focus. This is what we're doing. Kind of like in my educational, my tutorial videos here online. So. Yeah, Daniel, we might as well be in our own country, lol. Yeah, Texas is one of those hard ones. So, like, for instance, we were thinking about going out, and so my wife, she has family in Texas. So she has a half sister who lives in one portion of Texas. I'm not sure where that's at, and I'm not real big on it. I want to say it's in. No, I'm going to butcher it. I'm losing it. It's in one portion of Texas. It's somewhere down. If you imagine with me, Texas is oriented in this direction. It's like down here somewhere, and her grandma is like up here somewhere, and that's like an 11-hour drive. So it's like we were thinking about, well, maybe we come down and visit your sister, and then we could drive up and visit your grandma, and then like go creep up over into Colorado and visit her folks that live in Colorado still, and then drive back. But it's like, holy moly, that would be from here. So yeah, Muleshoe, Texas is where her grandma lives, actually. Good night, Roger Caldwell. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it's called being social. I like being social. Yeah, that's like a 5-day drive or whatever. It's a long way. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. So like from us, clear up here in northern Michigan. So you stick with me. We're here in Michigan. We're closer to the Upper Peninsula than not. And then Ohio starts about right here down, right from there. And so for us to leave the state, we've got to not only travel from here, we've got to travel completely diagonal across our state, down around Chicago, down through Illinois. Like, it's a trip. Like, we have to either go diagonal across all the states or almost the longest way that you can go across all the states. It's ridiculous when you have to go, when you have to go that far. So, I don't mind it on my long car trip, but it's one of those things you have to make it worth the while, right? Like, so if there's people out there, like if Abana one day wanted me to come demonstrate for them and they were paying for it, sure, I'll drive in. I'll hoof it and we'll make a trip of it. It's fine. But if they don't want to, if they don't want to pay for that, well, then I can't, can't do that and only get instructor fees. So. Yeah, I've got 2 events scheduled this year. I've got 2 events scheduled this year already. Decent drives away, 2 events, and basically they were scheduled before all the gas price hikes happened. And now for me to get to the events, excuse me, gotta wipe the boogers from my face. Now, in order for me to get to those events, I'm actually on one of the events, I'm breaking completely even. In the other event, I'm actually losing money to go teach. So, because it's already a kind of like, I've already given my word as far as the pricing goes. So, that's just what it is. Fortunately, I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm affluent or very well off, but God has been really good to me all these years, and He has it all works out. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. God has taken care of me enough that now I can, do some things like that, that even if I break even or I lose a little bit of money, I can still do it. Ideally, I don't like to do that because I'm running a business, but, right, it is what it is, But I enjoy the teaching more. I enjoy sharing the craft more than I enjoy money. So, that is quite clear and evident with some of the stuff I do. That's the way to do it in a Mercedes. I might have to rethink some of my demonstrations, some of my stuff, and make them like very small things. So like just do like maybe a really tiny, finely carved and chased little chasing hammer. That way I can reduce the amount of things I need to bring down to, and I can hop in I can rent myself a, whatever, like a little Prius or something. Make the cost of travel a lot cheaper. Definitely can't do it in the truck. I got the truck and it just gets like 12 miles to the gallon. So, no bueno. That ain't happening. That's right, Eric. You will. So, and he does. And that's it. And that's where I'm at. So that's why I keep going. Keep doing what I'm doing. Until something changes. I'll probably be broke. Just let me be broke as a joke. I'm like, wow. I think the blessing shifted a bit, and I missed that train. So, last time I didn't listen, I got in a car wreck. And hence, here I am today. So, sometimes he's got to yank my collar to get me moving. That's good weight reduction. Talking about slowly pull it out of the seat to get a little extra speed. I once drove, it was a late night. I was coming back from, probably shouldn't be saying this because it was highly illegal, but I'm going to claim that I wasn't fully aware of what I was doing. So it may have been illegal, but I wasn't conscious of what I was doing, so therefore it's less illegal. Let's just say that. I drove, I was coming back, the way that the company I was working for, the heating and air conditioning company I was working for, they were 45 minutes away from my house. I had to commute. They wouldn't allow you to take their company vehicle home to your home location because there was something weird with the insurances. It wasn't insured against theft if it was at somebody else's. It had to be at their business and locked up at night or something. It was some weird deal they had going on. So we just thought it was because the boss was being jerks. We thought it was they were just trying to make us have to always drive it back home, to drive back to the shop. So I finally finished up at a customer's house. It was a really pain in the butt job. I had been running since, the thing to know about this job, it was piecework. So I'd been running since like 5 a.m. The previous day. It was now midnight. I had to drive an hour, like an hour plus, to get back to the shop to drop off the stuff. I had like, 5-10 minutes to get in my own vehicle. And then I went to go drive home. So to remind you, remember, that's a 45-minute drive. Okay? I made that drive in 32 minutes. I don't know what happened, but Roy must have just fell asleep and put the foot all the way to the floor because there's no way, I have no clue how I got there that fast. It's like I teleported. But no joke, that 45-minute ride took me 32 minutes to get back to my house. And I don't have any recollection of how I got back to my house. That's scary. I was like, okay. It's like, I gotta call it a lot sooner, and but that job just basically worked you to death. Humans were just as good as potatoes. Throw another one in the pot. They didn't care. Piecework, man, that's a good way to go to an early grave, or at least that's been my experience. put this in here. Guys and gals, I do believe we've just about got this bar lit. So if this phone don't die on me first, like I said, if I go black, that's all you get from me. If it all goes bloop, out, you know my phone died. When that last bar's cut there, well, I've got one extra cut to do. Once that's done, we'll call it an evening. How's that sound? Yeah, oh yeah, he really rarely shuts down. I don't shut down often. Is it even the real Roy? Who is Roy? What is Roy? Why is Roy? We are expendable labor in the HVAC world. Some days, or at least were till recently. Yep, that's the way it was. This particular company was real terrible. Yeah, why is Roy? Yeah, there you go. That is the question of the universe. But yeah, the HVAC company I was working for, they literally tell you in a meeting that they could get a monkey to do your job. You know, they're like, you're just, you guys are worthless. Now go get to work. That's the way they were. They hosed over companies. I quit them so hard on them. And yeah, there's a whole big long-winded story on that one, but I don't care to get into it. Ask me around a campfire someday, and maybe, just maybe, you'll hear the real story. Oh man. But is Roy. Why does Roy not wear a kilt? I think we all know that reason. Yeah, because it's cold. I live in the north. Let's just say I've been around plenty of smiths who have taken up the whole kilt craze. And on a sweaty afternoon, there's a reason. There's a reason why. God made pants. God made man and man made pants, right? There's a reason why. They ain't supposed to be doing that much often. Well, there's a reason why. Oh. Eric. Oh. Aye. On top of that, let's talk about a little wokeness for a second. It's cultural appropriation. Now, I've got Scottish in my blood. I've got Scottish and German in my blood, and that's the two most prominent, with a tad bit of Irish in there. And so I can probably get away with wearing a kilt. But traditional Scottish dress